go to view room. And there we go. I think we are live. Yes, we are live on a Monday morning. Something unusual. Yeah, there was no preemptive anything. I kind of just do what I want when I want, and that's the thing that I enjoy. Hey, Inedible. Hello, Matt. Matt, I need your address. I have a box I need to send to you. So I would appreciate it if you can send me an email to novaprime860@hotmail.com. If you could. Dan, how are you? See, isn't it nice that you can actually watch something in the afternoon? So, I had to move some things around, if you guys noticed. I moved Massive Darkness to next week because this is such a very big week as far as trying to catch up with the patron, with painting, with a lot of things that I think more of the gameplay will be next week. So, and plus Justin has an appointment and Janice has an appointment. So Tuesday is up in the air, so I'd rather move it to next Tuesday. So we'll do our live playthrough of this next week, and that'll give me a chance to kind of finish everything. Dave, how are you? Christopher, Rusty Dean, hi Rob, glad you made it out of the storm. Well, we're just about out of it. Haven't seen anything since the hurricane finally back here to normal. Yes, we are back to normal. So we're kind of really just kind of, the way the channel is going to go is I'm just going to do what I want, and that's my new belief. It's not, I don't cater to anybody. It's been a belief for quite some time now. It's just you know, I just don't listen to anything or watch the numbers or watch subscriber count, people that watch, all that other stuff. All I'm concerned about is the people that show up, the people that enjoy the channel, and that's it. So I'm going to just do the things that I like to do. Day off here. So what am I doing? First of all, I just taped a whole bunch of segments. The reason being is I'm really trying to get ahead. Hello, this is excellent. Just start playing it. That's great to hear, Bill. And by the way, Mr. Bickford, it's good to see you. Roger that. Last email probably got lost in cyberspace. You can wait. No, because actually, Matt, if you can get it to me, because we are doing a massive, massive shipping this week. So I just need to have everything in order, if you don't mind. It's just going to help because this week is like shipping week. We're going to hopefully ship all 17 of these auction things. We're going to ship out and with the help of Miniature Market, hopefully get a whole bunch of our patron stuff out, which are a lot of games that we didn't include in the auction that were new. So that's going to be pretty good. You can wait till the patron is sent to save on shipping depending on what is going out. Gotcha. Catching live stream while it works. There's just a lot of stuff I'm trying to catch up with this week. That's why today is just such a great day to catch up with. I filmed for the next 2 weeks. Did the emails go out to all the auction winners? Yes, they did. If you're, a matter of fact, I see some of the auction winners in here. A matter of fact. All right. So, anyways, and it was funny. A lot of stuff went really, really cheap, and other stuff was, I was like, wow. And there was one lot that went for like 38 bucks. All right, and that box was filled to the rim. Figure that one out. Probably the one that everybody didn't want. There you go. All right, so let's get going here. We are trying to continue on here with our Massive Darkness stuff, so it's a pretty good day to do it. I figured I'd do this. Tomorrow we're going to get some Witchborn in. I'm going to try to get that in early. I actually just got those all primed up. Now right here, we're just painting the hair. The hair's black according to the card. Oh, it might help if I put down my visor so I can see what I'm doing. Make sure the X is on the spot. There we go. I'm going to try to keep up with the comments today. A little out of practice with that. But if you say something, I will keep up. And I don't think I have any moderators because in Hawaii right now it is, if it's 11, it's 5 a.m. and I don't think Leland's up. There you go. So if I miss something, just say it again, and I'll make sure that I just make sure you put a big question on there, and I'll just keep looking up. Oh, that means I didn't win. No, you did not, Robert. You did not. Yeah, it went for a good cause, and I'm just really excited to try to get this all done. And now I hate this brush right now. I don't know why. And oh, I did my painting 101 for this week also. It was a busy morning, so we got that out of the way. So we'll have that up at the end of the week. Janice and I are crunching, and I do mean crunching. Fallen Land, boy, that is a game and a half. And we're really trying to make sure that we have that down because we want to get that done for Fallen Dominion Studios. Bunch of nice guys there. We met at Gen Con. Let's try this one. So all we're trying to do, and I'm not worried about getting any on the swords or anywhere else. All I want to do is just get her hair. And if I get any on her, I'm not worried about it. Probably use a smaller brush to get into some of those areas that are going to be really tough. As a matter of fact, I should probably just do that anyways. I went for lot 5. Rusty Dean, what would you recommend for dark horror minis that are not too expensive? Well, those bones really do have a great they're really the bone sets are good because you can mix and match, and they just have so many different things that they come out with, and I believe that's by Reaper, and they're just fantastic miniatures. They do such a great job with it too, and I just don't think you can go wrong no matter how you look at it. I'm just gonna whale in here a bit, but I know that I'm gonna have to do a lot of touch up with this, but the idea is to just get this black paint where we need to get it, and that's the tough thing. That's why a lot of times, even though it's a pain in the neck to put some models together, there are just some models that you go, okay, this is going to be a pain if I try to paint it put together, and you may want to try to paint the parts separately, but we'll be covering that as well in our Painting 101. This series may go into next year sometime, but I think you'll be able to take something from it. It's going to be a weekly thing. I'm having fun doing it, which is the best part. My daughter and I are leaving a little later to go film a part of it. Oh, let me get back in here in case I got out. Glad to be able to, and I can talk too. Oh, that's a cool name for something. I'm glad you can catch this. Thank you. And we're just, we've been tweaking things since Gen Con, the channel, and I'm just very happy with the way things are going. We're just really at a good pace. We're relaxed. We're enjoying it. Janice is having a blast, and I think that's one of the biggest things. And we're just doing what we have to do. Now, if my hand gets in the way here, forgive me. Now, all you're trying to do is just get all these black areas for now, because we're going to fill everything else in a little bit later. And we're not worried As you see, the hair is really, really tricky. So you really gotta just take your time with it. Try not to get any on her body, which so far so good. And of course I want to make sure that I get all of it, because if somebody ever picks it up and looks at it, they'll see a big white spot in the back, and that ain't cool. You know, maybe this is one of those models that you do prime, that you prime black, just because of her hair can be such a harrowing experience. But because of the way we did her body with the white, it really works out pretty well. Some things you just have to sacrifice on. So we're going to fit that in there. Dan, good morning. Kabuki, wow, what a treat. We have a moderator. I didn't think that was going to happen. Yeah, I just threw this in here. What the heck, right? Alright. So I'm just going to come over to the top here. Gotta just really very carefully dab in there. I actually stood up till like 12 o'clock last night, which is unusual for me. Really? I'm usually in bed. Alright, we also have some black paint. While we have our black paint out, we want to keep on using our black paint. So we're just going to push this aside for a second, let that dry. And I believe, because I got the cards right here. So let's take, yeah, this guy has black hair, that guy has brown hair. Not worried about that dude yet. No, not worried about that. That. Everybody else is gray. Okay, so since we have our barbarian out, let's get his hair, because of course those Conan ripoffs have to basically. Let's see if we have black anywhere else on him. No, it doesn't. I'll make his boots black. How's that? Or maybe we'll. I'm a night owl. I bet you are. Zombicide Greed Horde Pledge Manager closes tomorrow. Time to decide how much I want to paint. Well, there you go. That's always the decision. How much do you want to paint? Once you get going at it, and you'll start to enjoy it. I think the thing that really gets me, and I hope everybody can hear me all right, is the thing that really beats me up is that when I paint too many of the same thing, and it's not you know, a whole box set or something like that. It's when I paint like 5 or 6 box sets, because then it could really drag you down. Like recently, I'll show you guys some BattleTech stuff. If you guys are interested in seeing that, I will show it off to you very quickly. Because guess what? We're going to be doing BattleTech very soon. So how many people out there are BattleTech fans? That's a big question. We were debating whether or not to do it. Janice wanted to learn it, and I said, well, we'll do it live. We'll see how it goes. All right, there's this hair, so let's put that aside. Why don't we just take a break here for a second, and we'll just pop in here if you guys don't mind. I'll show you some BattleTech stuff. There we go. Hold on, we got more. Trying to divvy up 2 different sides for BattleTech. We got more here. Hold on. Just got to move a few things because I'm kind of hemmed in by boxes. All right. Played Dragon Strike from last century. Yeah, our big thing is we're thinking of doing something really big with BattleTech. And I'm just trying to get everything all situated. a certain way so everything looks good. I'm trying to take some of these out of the, because I already had wrapped some of these up. But we're just, as you see, that's one faction there, almost. But we're not going to do things small. We're going to go pretty big. Hope you guys can see that. Played Battletech in the a few times, loved it. Let's see. Hope I'm not messing this whole video up. Still haven't played Massive Darkness. It's fun. But I managed to play 878 and Swords of Sorcery this weekend. Very cool, Bro Geek. And you can see... Ugh, that was still wet, damn it. There we go. Move this guy back. This guy. I try to make it as even as possible. You know? So you see what we're doing here. And I was going to do a live painting of Battletech, but I don't think it would interest anybody. I really don't. And it's really just, as you can see, we're just trying to get balance between the two squadrons. And there we go. Another guy. Boy, I'm going to have to change the name of this. Painting with Rob is not Massive Darkness, right? Another dude. Again, we're just trying to have good, even balance and all the things. I had these all wrapped up. Here we go. Getting more of the other side in there. I got more. I mean, I really just been trying to work and trying to get these things where I can get them all based up. Because I think that'd be kind of a fun video to do, and plus, we just like to do fun videos. There you go. Nothing like some Battletech, right? You know, since I called it my second favorite game of all time, I think you just got to make sure that you... We'll move some guys out of here. That guy over there, that guy over there. You can see this guy now. And there you go. And I think we got some more here. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I don't want to bore you guys to death with this. As you see, I'm trying to stack the green side because I'm pretty sure that's what Janice is going to be. Because Janice doesn't like to lose. But I don't mind blowing her to bits either. Oh, my Man of War, I gotta put his arm back on. These are the old metal figures too. You can get these at, oh god, Iron Wind. These are from the Iron Wind collection. Hate when that happens. I gotta pin it is what I really gotta do. As you see, I got one to match up here. And alright, let me get this other one out. And then you guys will be set as far as seeing some Battletech that we are working on. See, you put the little emblems on, which is always kind of cool. And just try to keep it pretty straightforward. And we just use the old maps. They have the Alpha Strike rules, but I don't think much of them. Here's a guy that can go for either side, you know, depending on what we want to do. There we go. So there's some Battletech. You may see that in the very near future, and it'll be a lot of fun, and we'll just have a lot of fun with it. And I just don't know if you guys are interested in watching that kind of stuff, so that's why we kind of left it off the radar. You know, I try to keep things going pretty well. Let me just get these out of the way for now. We keep them all named and numbered so we know what they are. So we can look them up very quickly and get their sheets out. Matter of fact, if you have been watching the videos you've seen in the background, we had the BattleTech boxes out. We're all ready to go. Let's just move this out of the way. And move. I even got more, but I don't want to bore you to death. This is supposed to be a video about something totally else, right? Alright, so we got that painted up. Mechs, not techs. I'm in the same boat. Pumas still need to paint zombies. BattleTech is great. Those look great. Thank you. Always loved how mechs could have nearly any combo weapons. Such a great system. Mechs, not techs. A whole box of my minis fell the other day. Luckily, I only broke 3 and I was able to re-glue them. It was a scary moment. Yeah, it happens. Happens to us all. Alright, so let's do some of the harder work here. And I think that's some of the gold that's going to go on her. So we're going to do some of that for a bit. This is probably going to be another whole series again. And that's only because we're going to try to do our best. Let me just check in here. And that girl is ugly. Alright, so we're just going to take some Retribution armor, and we're going to just try to fill in all the areas that we need to fill in here. And like I said, just another painting day. Isn't that what it's all about? Just painting. Now, I'm just going to go over this gold area. Let me make sure. And all I want to do is I'm just going to paint it all gold. Save myself some time. Because going over with another color is going to be a lot easier, believe it or not. So like we're going to take like a maroon and work it in there. Into this emblem here. And that's going to look nice and everything like that. But just getting the gold on there first is very key. So we're just spreading it out. And you see how we just use nice even strokes here. Oh, be quiet, Bella. Tell you that dog. Well, I should probably just change this to like painting on a morning with Rob. Now that I spent 20 minutes on BattleTech. And we'll just fill that in there. Now, somebody...
Hey, Bella.
Hey,
No.
Bella, what the heck?
Bella? No.
What's she barking at? Oh, she heard somebody out there. Hey, Timon. Oh, just one of those impromptu, we're going to paint things. Got dogs in the background. Victoria's up. That's a miracle unto itself. Victoria, what time do you normally wake up?
10.
10. Wow. Oh, so you did get up at your normal hour. See, I always take you as somebody that can sleep till about noon. No offense. Yeah, we're just taking, and we're doing these gold armbands, and it's going over that wash very nicely. We're going to darken that up. I can guarantee that. You're not going to just let this gold sit there like that. No, no, no. No, no, no. Just call it miniature morning with Rob. Yeah. Someday when I retire, this is all I'm going to do. I'll go on for like 3 hours in the morning. Then putz around, do my stuff. That's what I keep dreaming and hoping. That the channel's still going when I call it quits. Someday. But we'll see. You never know. Nothing lasts forever. Maybe I'll just get disgusted and just say, oh, the heck with this. Or maybe I'll just keep going because I enjoy it. Actually, I really enjoy making videos and painting live and stuff like that. For me, it really is just a simple pleasure. I think I used to take everything so seriously too when I first started, and I was looking back at the videos, you know, now that we're kind of headed towards our 3rd year of doing this, and you kind of go, wow, you know, you just want to do something positive, and then you kind of learn how people really are and how other colleagues are and things like that, and you learn who are the good people, who are the bad people. It's amazing how smartened up you get, and then you look back and now you look at to where you are now, and you just go, wow, if I just do the basic of what I wanted to do and just have fun, it'd be so much easier. And I really, really, really am, just by keeping things basic and just enjoying myself. Dotch, we'll see you. We won't let you quit. Oh, there you go. I can't sleep until 10, maybe in my younger days. Take it easy, Dutch. It's always good to see you, my good friend. And then, you know, I think of all the nice people that I've met here, and how many of you I've seen at conventions, and you come up and you've always been so kind. I think that's the thing that really makes this special. And I've said it 1,000 times, that this community, to me, my community, is probably the most important thing to me. You see, I'm just kind of hitting here nice and easy with my brush, just moving it along. One of the things I can't wait to restart is something that I started a while ago, and because of some instances where we had some unexpected things, I had to stop it, and I've been planning to bring it back, and I finally have that studio cleaned up enough where we can do a number of things, and that's canvas stories, because I really want to teach a lot of you how to blend colors. And I think, you know, people have always asked, oh, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? Well, I think that's a perfect example. Plus, I just enjoy painting things from my life. You know, I'm an old fart, and I've been around the block a bit, so I've seen a lot of things. And they're stuck in my head, and I want to get them out. Couldn't play the tape, of course. What? If I have that on my shelf, never played it. What? Am I missing something? Oh, Dragon Strike. Okay. I'm sorry. You know what happens? You look at the lowest thing, and then you got to work your way back and try to figure out the conversation. Never played BattleTech, even though it looks fun. They're doing a video game version of it. Yeah, I've seen that at Origins, and boy, does that look good. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, did you say a mouthful there, my good friend. It's always such a... getting back, it's, you know, I just have things in my head that I want to put on canvas and show you guys, and really, I think you guys will enjoy it. Maybe not, you know, it may not be for everybody, but for me, it's just a sense of just completion. We've got 8 videos that I plan on doing, and that I'm looking forward to doing. Not 8 videos, 8 segments of it. I think 2 I'm going to try to do live. I'm actually going to try to do the painting live, which I think I can do in about 40 minutes. So that's not a long live video. I will try to stop in comments. You know, I just might have to have somebody out there to just read the comments, because when I get dialed in, you know, it's just one of those things. And that's the way that goes, I think. So we'll see how it all goes. We'll just... The best thing is that we're just going to have some fun. And that's all we care about, is enjoying ourselves, enjoying what we're doing, being passionate about what we're doing. You know, no matter what it is on this channel, just dialing in and having fun. All right. And I'm rambling, right? That's what I do. Finally getting caught up with everything. I'm looking forward to this week. We've got the patron videos that we're going to be putting out, which will explain everything that's going on. We're going to be doing our drawing finally, which will be Wednesday. 40 games are going out. I mean, that's a lot. You know, I don't think anybody can complain about the amount of stuff that we do for the patrons. You know, we're able to take some of that money and really take care of a lot of things. We've taken care of little girls. We've taken care of some of you guys that have had issues. And, you know, we've always tried to be good and help people do something to brighten their day, you know, and just make a difference. This auction is, you know, very important to Tammy, believe it or not, the queen, because the funds are going to something that she considers very, very important. And one thing about the queen is probably the nicest person you'll ever meet. She's tough, but boy, she would stop time for anybody. And I think that's where I get it from, because I'm really not that nice. Where she is. What happened to Mike? Mike has been fired. And there we go. And you're just adding in some things. Leland, what are you doing up at 5:30? Isn't it 5? Wait. It's 6:30 there? Jeez. Talk about dedication. Nobody's more dedicated than Leland. Except maybe Kabuki. Well, Kabuki's right up there because she's always here. Well, Kabuki's always on some channel or something. She's a busy person. And here we go. And we're just kind of hitting the high spots here. Just trying to get some of that in there. And we still got a lot of work with this girl, but she's gonna shine through. I'll tell you that much. Oh, if I could just see where that goes in. Oh, was wondering why I hadn't seen any videos of him lately. He's not fired. I was waiting for everybody to go, what? No, Mike's been busy with his own life, and basically, I've had a lot of things that I have to catch up with. Life gets in the way, and pretty much, being omnipresent is a lot of. Yes, it is. It definitely is. I'll give you that much. But no, you know, the moniker says me, and for the most part, I just try to go on when I can, you know, and just trying to take a look at this video. That's mostly all blood all over her. I don't know why they gotta make it so bloody sometimes. But what I'm doing is just taking and trying to get some ideas of things from the card itself. And just making sure that, you know, you're not missing anything and you're hitting the things that you need to hit. And it's like this little headdress that she has up here. I want to make sure that we get that in there. And because that's an important selling point there. There we go. Queen of Sheba there. There's a lot of little gold trim things, so you're just trying to make sure that you hit it all so you don't have to come back with the color. You know, when you have something open, you just want to make sure that you try to hit it all at once. And that's not as easy as it seems sometimes. You know, there's little things that you'll miss, especially when you're painting a lot of figures at the same time. Let me see, how long have we been on? Well, not bad, 37 minutes. Oh, phone's going off. Let's see, I was wondering, Kabuki equals Borg. Many beings with single collective mind. Yes, she will be assimilated. She's something else. That girl could be everywhere, anywhere. That's why she is who she is. Alright. So let's see here. What else do we want to touch in here? Well, this here, I'm just going to push that aside for a second so I can take a good look at it. But if I don't do this, I'm going to forget. Number one is I want to take care of her blade. I want to block out her belt here. Her buckle. There we go. You want to take care of the handle here. You're going to have to be a little careful. There we go. And catch the back end of that. It's just little itty bitty things. And if you take each part of it and you just kind of work on it a little at a time, it all comes together and they all work out in the same way. There we go. This guy, I'm going to come back on the gold. Chris Peach. Early morning painting, Rob. Yay. Yeah, pretty much. Rick, happily, your package went out. I think I told you that. I think I emailed you that, actually. Who else am I missing? Mas, how are you? My man. My brother from another mother. Alright, so now, boy, the emails are just flying in today. Can't wait to start tackling this after I finish up. Supporting the game. Hold on, what the heck? I have no idea. I wish. Huh? Something, hold on. That's weird. I got a weird email. Huh, I'll address it as soon as I get off live here. It's time. I went and woke up my queen. I can't believe she's still sleeping. Rob, saw your review of Car Wars games. Did you know Steve Jackson is working on a new edition of Car Wars currently? No, I did not know. I did not know that. Oh, okay. This has nothing to do with me. Cool. So now, Yeah, you know, the funny thing is I'm reading that book, Gaslands, and, you know, they're very nice over at Osprey. They send me a book, and I try to read through it, and, you know, I try to do a review on it. You know, I try to be fair to them. If you're going to send me something, I'm gonna talk about it. Not that they ask me to talk about it, but I just like talking about things when people send me stuff. You know, because first of all, you took the time to send me something, and you wanted me to look at it, so you must feel that I have some kind of opinion or something. So I took a look at it, and all I kept on thinking through the whole doggone thing was, oh my God, this is Car Wars. But, you know, I didn't want to say that too much because, you know, yeah, it's like Car Wars, but it you know, it had some different elements in it. I'm looking for a color. Hold on, guys. Lead Belcher. There we go. And I really was intrigued by it, but the more I read it, the more I said, wow, those look like Car Wars, or this is different from Car Wars. But when you get a game like Car Wars that is basically as historic as it is, I just don't think... Are you guys losing the feed? I'm not dropping any frames. Oh, it's YouTube. This is definitely a YouTube issue. Because my internet is fine. Huh. That's unusual. Yeah, and there it goes. Oh, boy. Did something happen? Oh, it looked like it kicked out. Hello? Huh. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Ah, here we go. That'll do it. Oh, it's definitely something on... Hello? Okay. Is it coming back? Well, no. I'm trying to see if we lost the feed or something. Huh?
I thought you were calling me.
No, not yet. Yeah, everything's fine here. It's buffering and going here, so I don't understand. Let me just type in, it's not me. It's YouTube. Can you guys hear again, or is it really weird? Well, it's definitely a YouTube thing. But it was definitely something, we were talking about Gaslands, but it definitely was M&M refreshed and it worked now. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely YouTube. Because I lost no packets, or I don't have any power problems or anything like that. Everything's pretty much dead in there. And we're all right on this end. Well, let's put it that way. We're all right on this end so far. So, are you taking a shower, young lady? Yeah. Okay, cool. See, you guys hear all this stuff at home. We hear you. All right, cool. Sound had been working fine the whole time. Yeah, it's definitely YouTube then. Sorry about that. Come on, YouTube. Justin was playing a game where you can't die. He was doing some kind of thing, and he was trying to do something that was impossible, to get to a level 110 without dying in Warcraft. And he was at level 79. He's going along, and the power flickered for just half a second. And unfortunately, a month's worth of work was just completely wiped away, and I kept on telling him to get a battery backup. And I actually have a battery backup just for this stuff now. I just kind of, you have to, or else, you're going to lose your feeds, and, you're just going to make yourself crazy. And it's the last thing I want to do, is make myself nutty. YouTube hasn't been nice to streamers lately. No, it hasn't. Picture is better now. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, it seems like... That's really strange. I don't know what happened, but definitely not here. Alright, so we're just plugging along. Just trying to get all the little areas here. And we're working on all these guys, and we're going to do all the bases too, so I'm going to show you how to do that. It's probably going to be about 4 parts. I'm going to try to fit it in this week so we can play it next week, or we'll just play it even though it's not... one of the things that I can't stand doing, and I guess I get held to a higher extreme here, is that I've been labeled the guy that paints things. So for me to pick and open up a game and play it without it being painted, everybody kind of looks at you like, okay, well, I don't want to watch this. I want to see you paint it and then play it. And sometimes that's hard because you just want to take the game and play it, but you got to paint it first. And sometimes that's why we become so backlogged with stuff. And it doesn't make it easier, because it's basically your channel's reputation is now that you are a painter. So there you go, you paint. So we got some of the stuff on here. There's a lot of things that there's a lot that goes into her. And she's a very, very busy character, let's put it that way. So let's sharpen up some of this stuff with some lead belcher. We're gonna, let's make this staff lead belcher, and then we'll bring it out with some Rune Fang silver. I think that'll look good on it. Again, we want to get these to the table next week, because we already got the scenario all picked out. We're all jacked up to play it, and you know how Janice gets. Oh God, I want to play this, I want to play this, I want to play this, I want to play this. Well, why don't you help me? She's such a good girl, though. Alright, I'll make his buckle there. There we go. And jeez, what do we do with this guy? I think I know. I'll worry about him next. Alright, let's clear this off. So what makes the Similarities Car Wars and Gaslands different from the multitude of similar dungeon crawls? What makes similarities different from... Nothing. Oh, look at Daniel getting all nasty. Alright, pal. UPS. Justin's not streaming today? I think he will, eventually. I got the impression that it's a simplified Car Wars. I think the difference is story. Okay, you could tell the same... Dungeon crawls are dungeon crawls, okay? And you could almost say that about Dungeons and Dragons, okay? After they made the first dungeon crawl, wow, aren't all the rest going to be the same just like it? Well, yeah, kinda. Because you're going down into a dungeon and you're fighting this monster, or you're fighting a demon. I think the difference between Car Wars and Gaslands is that Gaslands... It felt more... It's like if somebody came out with Descent, okay? And they changed a couple tiles and they changed the stories, but the dice were same. And and the cards were the same. You know, and it's that kind of feel. You go, oh, wait a minute, this has been done already. But for Car Wars, it's just kind of different. Because let's face it, well, at least for me, I'll never get tired. They're just variations of each other's. Yes, some stand out. You see, dungeon crawls, people can forgive because people love dungeon crawls so much. But when you copy something like Car Wars, I don't think people are that forgiving because of the nostalgia behind it. Because of, if you are a big Car War fan, you already have everything. Now, if the game also has an Uncle Albert, then we can really scream. Yeah, I'm not screaming about it. My whole point was, and Nathaniel, you really do make a good point. But I think in the long run, you know, when I'm looking at it, I was just saying, you know, if you already have Car Wars, you really don't need this. And you get a lot more with Car Wars. That's basically what I was trying to say with that review. In a nutshell. All right. And I think that's the point I was trying to make. Made it back from waking the wife. Oh, that's a small miracle. Don't ever wake the wife. Alright. So let's see. Maybe we'll just go. Let me just take a look at this now. Right now. And I don't think this... Oh, that'd be green, which would be better. So why don't we leave that? That would be... Well, you know what? Heck with that. Let's go back to gold for a minute. I'll tell you why. It's this guy here. He's getting the full treatment. Yeah, I own everything made for Car Wars, so I understand. I just think that if you were looking for something totally different, that wasn't different. And that's why a lot of people don't buy a lot of these dungeon crawls. You know, they rather just have more expansions made for the same thing, because they already have something that that they believe in, and that's pretty much it. It's like, would you rather have Gaslands, or would you rather have another expansion doing something totally different with Car Wars, or would you rather have like an ogre box of Car Wars? You know, that designer box or whatever the heck they called it. You know, I think that's where it kind of falls in. Dungeon crawls are just really different in the fact that people are so forgiving because they just want constant great adventures. And that's really hard to do. You know, like take a look at the old D&D adventures. Where am I here? This guy's mostly gold. Hold on. I just had his card, for crying out loud. Oh, there we go. So I'm just kind of painting him all gold for now. And then what I'm going to do is I'll show you in the next episode what we'll do with him. As you can see, there he is right there. Just in case you were wondering where he is. Alright, so what are we doing here? Alright, we're going to go, because we're going to take that maroon and we're just going to fill in all the blanks in, because it's just so much easier to do. It really is. But I think, getting back to the thing, you'll play an adventure twice, and you'll know how basically it ends, but your love for dungeon crawls, people just love them. You know, it's just that whole gathering treasure thing and facing the unknown, and you know, it just reminds you of when you were a kid. You know, where maybe older people, younger people don't relate to it as much as the fascination with D&D back in the day, and how immense it was and how big it was. You know, it was just unending. Have you ever played Twisted Metal, the video game? Yes, I have. Twisted Metal is fun, yes. Fair enough, Rob, but given how we get so many similar games, so many zombie games, so many dungeon crawls, the similarities are becoming the standard. Exactly. This is something that I started screaming a long time ago. And this is why you got to understand we're going to go through a crash period. I really believe it, and then we're going to crash hard. Because just like the video game world, just like the comic book world, just like every other genre, okay, they all run into this thing where people are out to make money. Well, maybe that's the wrong word to say. That people are mass producing these games because they're popular. And, you know, maybe just not taking the time to come out with something innovative, you know. And it's hard to be innovative because, you know, once somebody came out with a card drafting mechanism, well, that became the hot mechanism. And then now you got 50 billion of those. Then there's the deck builder. That became the hot thing. Then dice. You know, a dice builder became the hot thing. And then dungeon crawls became the hot thing. You see where I'm going with this. Eventually somebody, you know, oh, well, this reminds me of this. Well, that, and you're starting to run into that where people are just going to go, you know something? There's so many of these things, they become more selective. And then now all of a sudden, you know, maybe there's 400 games coming out at Gen Con and people only maybe pick up 3 of them, because they've seen the other ones about 100 times. This is where it becomes this huge problem. Okay, I missed this. It becomes this huge problem where eventually it's just going to crash. And people are going to step away from it because, wow, I played the same game 500 times. And how many times can you get burned for $100? Okay? How many times can you afford to get burned? Now, some of us are more fortunate than others, where you know, you just go out and you get whatever, and you go, well, I'll just keep on buying. I'll keep on buying. But there are a lot of people out there that just can't afford, but they want a good game, and then how soon until they get disappointed, and they go, wow, that wasn't that good. There wasn't that much in it. You know, it becomes a money thing. You know, to keep their company going. The innovation stops. And cash takes over. And that is a big problem unto itself. And it's happened in every single industry. It has. It's happened in every industry. Video games. How many times can you play Call of Duty? Okay? What do you, Call of Duty Assassin's Creed 27, okay? Oh, well, we're going to give you a different skin here. Well, it's the same thing. Okay? The RTSs, real-time strategies. How many of those came flying out? In Kabuki, a popular question I see is even just amongst the D&D cooperative games, people asking if they own one or if they need to get any other games in the same series. That's a good point. If you own Legend of Driz, do you also need Wrath of a Sashalon? A Chardalon? No, you probably don't. But the funny thing is that they all go together. So if you are, like a lot of people, a collector and a completionist, okay, you're going to want them all, because that one game is going to nag you. If you got 3 of them, it'll drive you insane. Imperial Assault seems different enough from Zombicide and other dungeon crawls to make me want to get into it. But that's only if you're a Star Wars fan. Okay? If you're a Star Wars fan, you're gonna like Imperial Assault. If you're not a Star Wars fan, you're gonna look at it and say, "Hey, this is Descent." That's really what it comes down to. Imperial Assault also does offer a skirmish game. True. And I did play that against Sam and beat him. If you guys ever want to take a look on the Dice Tower. And I'm pretty happy with this guy. I think we're going to leave him the way he is. This guy, we got to start working on him a little bit. Also offers a skirmish game, so it adds to that, which is nice. Plus, unless you don't care about that aspect. Conversely, I've taught many of Elias's friends how to play mini games. It's not easy at first, but then they go home and find rules to play with their toys. That's another great point. I have all the D&D co-op games because I love the minis. Good point. It's fun to combine. But if those were all chits, would there be a difference? Would you get them all? I don't know if Gaslands is good or not, but an 8-year-old could use the rules. Again, Nathaniel, I don't think I trashed the game. I was talking basically, I go, well, this is kind of like this, because I would hate to go, hey, run out and go get this, because then I'd just be like, anybody else that's getting something. I'm telling you straight up, and I've always been a straight up person. The sports video games are like that. Good point, Matt. Straight up, I've always tried to be honest with you. I always say ahead of time, listen, I'm the type of person that kind of likes almost like every single game. But for me, if I don't say something, even though somebody gives me something, I have to be true to myself, and to sit there and go, well, this is good, but I always compare it to this. Those are my thoughts. Is Gaslands a bad game? No, not at all. It is not a bad game. It's actually a good game. But my point of that whole video was to show you what I thought. And that's it. I didn't trash it. I didn't say it was a bad game. I go, oh, this sucks. I go, but I will tell you this much. Every time I see it, all I'm thinking about is Car Wars. And I have everything Car Wars. So for Rob Orn, it's not a game I need. There we go. I think I covered that pretty good, huh? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to try to get this flaming guy going a little bit here. We can do that. Oh, geez, this dried up. That's just some bad luck there. Oh, well, that's all I need it for is a dry brush. You can use them in. Yeah, that's true. Very true. So all I'm going to do is just kind of take some of this, and we're going to conversely work this in here. Now all I'm doing is I'm taking some Troll Slayer orange and working that in there a bit. I just want it to sit up top a little bit. And because this one's a bit dried out, which is perfectly fine, I'm almost using it like a dry brush over the top, which is fine as well. And I'm just working in there, just trying to get what I can out of this before I chuck this away. I'm going to pull a little of this off my brush a bit. There we go. And I'm just going to go over the top of this. And you'll see what I'm trying to accomplish sooner more than later. There we go. And we'll just bring that into there a little bit. trying to do is just spruce shit up a little bit. Looking forward to the new Car Wars. They said the new version will have minis. See, that's cool. I wish they do like a massive box of that. Like my ogre. It's really weird how it all kind of works out, you know. You know, I could be totally wrong too, because what do I know? You know, I'm no different than anybody else. But, you know, just being around a lot for the first video game crash, you know, when people just... There's actually been 2 crashes, if you really think about it. And right now, even though it is a billion-dollar business, why do you think board games are so popular again? Or starting to become popular with kids? Because they're tired of Madden 29. Okay? They're tired of you know, the same old thing. Now, Justin started playing a game called... Oh, God, I wish I can think the name of the game. Rob, do you guys decorate the yard as wild for Halloween as you do for Christmas? Yes, we do. If I showed you Victoria's room, you guys have a heart attack, that's for sure. Alright. Victoria has giant spiders all over the room. She named one of them. They went to Halloween Horror Nights the other night and just... They had a pretty good time. And that's for sure. Let me see if I can find a color here. Since I'm not really having a really good go. Oh, wait a minute here. Maybe I can use something here. I know I have it here somewhere. No. I ain't gonna cut it. Oh, here we go. Alright, sorry about that, folks. Like I said, this is one of the more unprofessional, professional painting videos you'll ever run into. Alright. Let's get back to work here. Yeah, we go pretty nuts. I lived through the video game crash in the early 80s and had no idea it happened at the time. I never stopped playing video games. I think it was mostly invisible to the consumer at first. Well, the thing is that your Atari wasn't as fun. Alright, because they stopped being innovative. They were just putting out tons and tons of games. The whole E.T. thing was a whole train wreck onto itself. The build-up and the crash of it. You know, there was a lot going on there. A real lot going on. And it really was pretty amazing. You know, and then they come out with Intellivision, and then everything kind of stopped for a couple of years. They kept on, you know, they tried the Atari 5200, they tried the Atari 7200, blah, 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 and so forth and so on. As for the market, I think some of these publishers who shun retailers are going to hurt over the long run. I agree with you. Someone is going to copy their game, but sell it in stores and M&M, etc. I agree with that. Hey Rob, I'm finally off on a day and get to watch you paint while I build my minis. Hey Zach, how are you? The funny, getting back to the video game crash, it completely just died. And then one day I'm just coming back from something and I stopped at a Toys R Us to get Catherine something. Catherine was very small at the time, and sometimes I just would stop and pick her up something. You know, it was a Friday night. And I saw the Nintendo system. And I'll never forget seeing that. And I went, wow, this is something different. And now all of a sudden you got more power, you know, and you got sucked right back in. Then it started all over again. You can't kill it. You're not going to kill board games. But you're going to run into a time where you're just going to go, you're going to find something else to do. And you're going to think, well, they're out there. And of course, people will keep, you know, the bigger companies will keep putting stuff out. And like Kabuki said, that's very true. It's going to feel, oh, get in the camera, Rob. Gee whizzes. It's going to feel a certain way. I remember being marked down to $1.99 at KB and Sam Goodies. Yeah, I remember that. Hey, Rob. Okay, Well, I feel board game got a boom because consoles tried to be more like PCs. There was no more reason to go over each other's houses anymore. Board games filled that void. Very true. That's a good point. I'm one of the weirdos who got ET and played it and had a decent time with it. Well, you know another one I had a good time with? Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I thought that was fun. They also had a thing, and I'll bring it up after I read everybody's comment. Atari 7800, you mean? Yes. Well, there was a 5200. There was an Atari 5200, I think. ColecoVision was awesome. I thought that was good. There were a lot of good consoles that came out. It's just everybody was burnt out. The Atom was pretty bad. Yeah, the Atom was pretty bad. What it caused me to do is I went over to my Commodore 64 and then, you know, I opened up a whole different world right there. Because now all of a sudden I'm playing the Gold Box games and I'm playing, oh God, what else was out there that sucked me in? The Ultimas and the Wizard Trees. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like me and my friends getting together. Or how the original models would degauss your tapes if you left them in the drive when you powered up. There was a thing that I don't know if it was very popular, to be honest with you. But I got to bring this up. And I can't remember the name of it, and I wish I could find out what it was. Why am I losing target here? Okay, there we go. All right, hold on here. Let me turn this a little more like that. Okay. All right, there we go. For some reason, I think I moved. For some reason. Oh, you know what? The camera moved. I think that had something to do with whatchamacallit. Yeah, 5200 was first, then the 78. Exactly. Those had some great sport games, and I used to play a lot of it. And I was completely blown away by the newer graphics, of course, at that point. But for the Atari 2600, there was a thing where you can plug in that would go to your tape recorder. And it only came out with a few games, but there was this dungeon crawl game. And it was the first dungeon crawl game I got to play on a system. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the greatest thing. Because you had to kill this dragon at the very end. I wish I can remember what it was. And of course I can't. But that's just life. Now, as I'm taking some Fire Bright Dragon and I'm going over this now. Trying to brighten this guy up a little bit, a little at a time. And all I'm doing is dry brushing. So much for me teaching how to play this. This just turned into a Friday night conversation. I still have a working 64. That's where my love for Mule stemmed. And the board game's really good. The board game is really, really good. If you guys haven't tried Mule, the board game, check it out. It's really pretty good. We had a great time with it. See, Kabuki, I think, to be honest, either Kabuki's a very old soul, or she's me, only in female form. Because we seem to like all the same things. Mule is a classic. It was actually best on the Atari computers, though, because they had the forced joystick ports. You're 100% right. 100% right. Man, you are on fire today, Kabuki. I didn't have a VIC-20. I did have the 64 though. The 64, and then from there I went to my Amiga. Oh my God, how I loved my Amiga. That's where I got the Dungeon Master story. Because I was playing Dungeon Master on my Amiga, and somehow I got down to the 13th level where I was supposed to fight the dragon, and I couldn't wait to get home that day. I was so jacked up, and I got home, and I'm all fired up, and I said, okay, let's do this. And I put my save disc in there, and the disc is completely erased. And I went, oh my God, what happened? To this day, it was one of the most I had to start the game all over again. One of the most horrific experiences of my life. I like the D&D games on the Intellivision. I thought that was unbelievable at the time. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, I gotta play this. I gotta play this. Of course, I'd get wrecked at it. And those games were hard, but it was just... All I'm doing is I'm taking and I'm building the color out with this, if you look. And all we're doing is just taking a darker orange, going to a lighter orange, to a lighter, to a lighter. Kabuki, how much do you bench? Oh, come on, guys. I'm not saying that she's like that. I like gaming stuff like Rob, but not benching. That it, girl. Go get him. Willie. Gateway to Asphalt was a great game. Just testing Rob's theory. Oh boy, what time is it? Oh my God, it's 12:07. All right, I promised Victoria I would take her out to dinner, so I mean to lunch. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take her out to lunch. We have a few errands to run, and we have to do some filming at where are we going? Hobby Lobby that we have to get in, because we got to complete a few things. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. It wasn't so much about painting what we were painting and teaching anything. It was more all of us just getting together and, well, just taking and having some fun on a Monday morning. And I did have some fun for the last hour or so. Showed you off the BattleTech stuff. Showed off, you know, we got these guys kind of going pretty good. I was kind of all over the place. I'm about as big as Janice. I can't bench a lot, I'm sure. Janice is a little thing too. Dragon Stomper, is that the game? It was a role-playing game though, and you had to put a cassette in, Joe. You had to put a cassette in, and it would feed into the 2600. And you would hit the button when it told you to play, and it would load so much. Oh well, I can't think of it. Oops. There we have our Hulk Atlas. Gotta have a Hulk Atlas. Alright, so that's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. And we'll be back during the week.